الله تعالى وبركاته. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي علا في توحده ودنا في تفرده وجل في سلطانه وعظم في أركانه، الذي لا يدركه بعد الهمم ولا يناله غوص الفطن، الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نعت موجود، فطر الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته وودد بالصخور ميدان عرضه، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأراضين بأبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. صل على وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. صل على محمد. بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى يوم القيامة. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في محكم تنزيله: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واركعوا مع الراكعين. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. Once again, we thank Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting us with another wonderful moment, wonderful opportunity to observe our weekly Eid and Jumu'ah. I first admonish myself and you beloved brothers and sisters to be conscious of the teachings of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let the taqwa of Almighty Allah, as we always encourage and motivate and highlight, right from the teachings of the glorious Quran, to be with us wherever we find ourselves. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala urge us to have that consciousness of His teachings. Once you have that taqwa which is required by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will help each and every one of us to live in this world peacefully, and of course exit from this world peacefully and get to Akhirah also peacefully. If you recall very well, last week we started our discussion on the importance and the significance of attending Jumu'ah or Salat al-Jama'ah regarding the issue of women. We get to a point where we ask a question and we said, inshallah, today's khutbah will focus on that question. That what is the position of Islam regarding the attendance of namaz jama'ah for women? Is it acceptable for women to attend, or is not acceptable for women to attend? We made a point last week by saying that there is no question of haram there among the scholars. What is there is it makruh or is not makruh? Is it recommended for mother, for sister, for daughter to go to the congregational prayers, or is not recommended for her to go to congregational prayers? So let us dissect that important topic today in our first khutbah. You realize that Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in glorious Quran, whenever He talks about position, He talks about elevation, He talks about taqwa, Allah does not differentiate between men and women. Allah does not differentiate between male and female. When Allah addresses in Quran about taqwa, Allah addresses both male and female. Therefore, scholars came forward and said, there are things that we have choices and there are things that we do not have choices. One of the things that we do not have choice is that Allah created you male and He created you female. Allah created a girl and He created you as a boy. You do not have any option. You do not have any choice there. That is out of the divine will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you female or to make you male. So therefore, when someone is male or someone is female, that is the will of Allah. Allah mentioned in Quran, لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ يَهْبُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ الذُّكُورَ وَيَهْبُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ إِنَاثًا أَوْ يُزَوِّجَهُمْ ذُكْرَانًا وَإِنَاثًا وَيَجْعَلُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ عَقِيمًا. That is the will of Allah. He is the one, when He wants to give the male, He gives to the one He pleases male. If He wants to give female, He gives to the one beyond your control and is not within your midst, there is no question of superiority or inferiority. And if you are not the one who is deciding it, you don't have a choice. Since there is no choice, there is no question of I'm better than him or I'm better than her or she's better than me. So therefore the question of saying men are better than women or women are better than men, it does not exist completely. Women are in their own world, we are in our own world. There are areas we meet as we're going to highlight today in our khutbah. But where we differ from one another, where the superiority manifests, is where you have choices. When you have choices, that is where superiority comes in. Whereby Allah Ta'ala gives you this choice. Those who are able to make good use of their choices, they become better in the eye of Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Those who fail to make good use of that choice, they don't become better. Therefore, look at Quran. When Allah talks about consciousness and taqwa, Allah doesn't differentiate between male and female. Allah doesn't say men are better than women when it comes to taqwa. The only thing Allah says in Quran, inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The most honored amongst you in the eye of Allah is the one who has the consciousness of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Male, female is not important. What is important is to have that taqwa. Same thing you come to Quran. When Allah talks about the acquisition of knowledge, Allah doesn't differentiate between male and female. Allah Ta'ala will tell you, هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب. Can you compare those who know to those who do not know? No. So here also, it is both male and female. A lady works harder to become knowledgeable, she's better than you in the eye of Allah. You work harder to acquire more knowledge, you are better than lady in the eye of Allah. Therefore, when it comes to knowledge, there is no inner superiority complex, and there is no superiority this one to say, I am better than the other one, he is better or she is better. In the eye of Allah, we are equal in the acquisition of knowledge. Yes, there are certain positions which Allah Ta'ala in Islam made it exclusively for men, and certain positions exclusively for women. The same thing, look at Allah. يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. Allah raise among you those who believe in Him and those who give priority to knowledge. Male, female, there is no question about it. The same thing when it comes to our deeds and actions. Your deed is your deed, and the deed of your wife or lady is her deed. If she works harder, she gets closer to Allah. If you work harder, you get closer to Allah. Allah will not say because you are a man, automatically you qualify to be closer to Him and she's a woman. We don't have that in Islam. That is why Allah said, Man amila salihan min dhakarin aw untha. Whoever does good, either from male or female, فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٍ فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً. And he or she is a believer, we will make sure we give that person a very comfort and a good life. So therefore, when it comes to all these things, there is no question of superiority between men and women. We are all equal when it comes to these things in the eye of Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Now let's come to women's participation in congregational prayers. Different from a woman attending mosque. Sometimes they may perform congregational prayers but not in the mosque. So now first question is, are women allowed to perform congregational prayers or they are not allowed to perform? Now when you look at Islam very carefully, you realize that Islam emphasizes on the importance of coming together, on the importance of being under one umbrella, because the philosophy of congregational prayers is not only for the sake of the prayer. It is something which is beyond that. That when you come, you are able to meet one another. When you come, you are able to discuss with one another. When you come, you are able to sit down and identify your difficulties and map up solution towards that. But today, our congregational prayer, it has become rituals. We only come to the mosque, after that everybody goes his way. But that is not the philosophy in Islam. We come together, you have a problem in your business and you know I'm in that business, share with me. Let's see how best we can help one another. You have a problem in your family, I had the same problem, how was my experience? This is the philosophy of coming together to perform ibadah. Therefore, Islam, when it comes to that, does not leave women also alone. That is why you realize our scholars, fuqaha and jurists, they discuss the question of women leading other women prayers. That one, all the madhahib of Islam, all the Islamic schools except the Maliki, they held the opinion that woman can lead other women in Salah. Only Maliki said woman cannot lead. Only man can lead, and they've got their own reasons. But when it comes to Shafi'i, Hanafi, Hanbali, and Imamiyah, we said no. When there are only women, and there is woman who knows the qawaid or the qaida of Salah, she can lead Salat, and there is no problem. Islam agreed to that. And of course, when you come to the Sunni world, they've got a riwayah from Ibn Majah as to why a woman can lead other women in Salah. But when you come to our school of thought, there is no clear-cut riwayah. It is the consensus of our scholars, of course, out of their understanding of Quran and the traditions of Rasulullah, that woman can also lead other women in Salah. That is number one. Number two, what is the position of woman coming to mosque? This is the main subject of discussion. Are our women allowed by Islam to come to mosque, or they are not allowed? Because you realize that there are some people, they discourage their women from going to mosque. And there are those who encourage them to go to mosque. So now, what is the position of Islam? And what is the position of our school of thoughts? And what are the teachings of our scholars when it comes to the participation of women in Salah? Jama'ah, Jumu'ah, any other Salat, she comes. Because we all know there is no argument if a woman has to follow a man in Salah. That one is not a locus of contention, and there is no discussion about that. When there is a man knows a little bit of recitation and qawaid of Islam and fiqh, he leads the woman in Salah, there is no problem. But now the question is she allowed to go to the mosque? Because we see our women coming to the mosque. They are coming to perform Salah. And sometimes you find mu'mineen arguing about it. When you have Islam, when you have our scholars, there is nothing to argue about. It's a matter of going back to Islam, refer to the teachings of Ahlul Bayt, refer to the masail of our scholars, and the case will be solved easily without any problem and difficulties. Now, when it comes to women going to the mosque and perform congregational prayers, the common opinion, which we often hear, and of course we read also in the books of our scholars, is that the salat of a woman in a house, listen very carefully, is better than her performing in the mosque. This is what the scholars say. But is that final? No. If you limit yourself to only this thing without reading through or thoroughly, you will say, yes, of course, let her perform in the house, no problem. Even we are told a salat in the house is better than a salat in the mosque. Salatul Nisa fil bayt afdal min salatihinna fil masjid. So therefore scholars gave a lot of discussions and descriptions about that. But now here some scholars came forward and said, this is not like cut cross, done, finished, woman cannot go to the mosque. And the reason is that they said in the lifetime of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, the mosque and perform salat behind the Rasulullah. Hurul Amali reported this riwayah, Bihar al-Anwar reported this riwayah, that kunna tusallina ma'a Rasul. Women used to perform namaz with Rasulullah, yani behind Rasulullah. And Rasulullah would tell them, after prayers, if men are coming to pass, go down, don't look at them until they go before you raise up your heads. So some said, no, there is a riwayah. If there is a riwayah, this man can go to the mosque. And they said, no. This is only talking about salat behind Rasulullah. That because if you perform your salah behind Rasulullah, it has a lot of barakah, it has a lot of blessings. So this is not. Then some scholars said, no. It's not only like that. Even there were other mosques in Mecca and in Medina where women used to go to perform salah behind a particular imam. And one example is for this qiblatayn. There is a riwayah in Wasa'il al-Shia that when the information and the message came to Rasulullah to change the direction from Bayt al-Maqdis to Makkah al-Mukarramah, those people who were performing salah in the mosque, which today you call it Qiblatayn, they were facing the direction of Bayt al-Maqdis, Jerusalem, and they had already performed 2 rak'at when the information and the news came to them. So according to the riwayah, when the news came to them, ladies went to the position of men and men came to the position of ladies. Yani men came in front and ladies came behind. So therefore some of the scholars said there is a riwayah that says that woman can go to mosque. Now let us come to our fuqaha, jurists, our current scholars who are still alive. What are they saying about a woman performing salat in congregation? We start with our own Ayatollah Sistani. What does Sayyid Sistani says when it comes to woman performing salat in the mosque? According to Ayatollah Sistani, he said if a woman is able to keep to her modesty and chaste in the mosque like the way she keep it in the house, her salat in the mosque is better than in the house. Yani the question is not about women not going to the mosque. It's about modesty. It's about chaste. Not women come to the mosque, they are competing with the type of dress they wear to go to the mosque. Not women, when they go to the mosque, they wear certain heel shoe that when men are passing there, they get crazy. If that is the case, then it's haram completely for you to go to the mosque. So Yani Ayatollah Sistani is very, very clear that if she can keep to her modesty in the mosque, like the way she keeps to her modesty in the house, فَصَلَاتُهَا فِي الْمَسْجِدِ أَفْضَلُ. Her salat in the mosque is better. Now let's come to Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei Hafidhahullah. He was asked a question, and that is in his Istiftah. Istifta'at is book of questions and answers for the Masail, volume 1, page 390. He was asked a question: can woman go to the mosque and perform salah? Then Ayatollah Khamenei said, do you think the spirituality is only for men and not for women? He said the fadila of performing salat in the mosque is not only for men, it's only for women. So therefore, if you perform salat in the mosque as a woman and you put up your hijab properly, it is cherished and admired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have our own beloved Ayatollah Makarim Shirazi in his Fatawa al-Jadida, page 208. He also asked the same question. Oh God, is it must for the woman to go to Jumu'ah, congregational prayer? Then Ayatollah Makarim Shirazi said, yes, it is recommended and sometimes it may be wajib, especially in this current situation of the world. So therefore the most important thing is for woman to keep to her modesty. The same Ayatollah Sani got a lot of scholars that we cannot mention. He also wrote in his Ahkam al-Islamiyah that yes, woman to perform namaz in her house is better. But if she can keep to her modesty and chastity nicely, then it's better she go to the mosque and pray, because in the mosque the chances of her making mistake is so slim. So therefore what I'm trying to say, brothers and sisters, is that woman is allowed to perform namaz in Jama'ah on condition that she is able to wear proper hijab, she is able to look after herself in terms of her dress code in accordance to the teachings of Islam and Ahlul Bayt. If she's able to do that, then there is no problem for her to perform salat in the mosque. But if she cannot do that, a mosque will become a place of showing beauty, then it becomes a problem for women to attend mosque. We ask Allah to help us, inshallah. God subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us our shortcomings, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar.